Alrighty, so we are also going to show you parts of my next project. Now I picked this thing up for $25. Honestly, it is beyond what I can do, I am sure. But I'm not going to let it deter me too much. For 25 bucks, I figured it was a nice cabinet, and it already made that worth it. So, but there are some problems with it. You can definitely tell it had some water damage at some point, so that's kind of scary. I don't know what's up with the side panel. I tried to use some alcohol, and there's no paint underneath of it, so I'm not sure what to think at this point. Looks like they put something on here, so I don't know if that's the original or what, but anyway, that's pretty much where we're at. I do have the control panel without the actual top, so that's kind of a bummer. It came with a broken monitor, which I can't use. The chassis for that monitor is in shambles. That I doubt will ever work again either. But yeah, I mean, it does have some of the wires, which is nice. It also, here's my thing. I don't know if this transformer is going to be good or not, or fixable or whatever. If it had water damage, obviously, there's your problem. Alright, it's not really the problem, but I would not trust that power supply for anything, so I'll take care of that. But if I can save the transformer, the isolation transformer, that will be good. I am pretty sure this came from the back of the monitor. But I mean, it has the wires intact, which I like, so that could definitely help me and my, I won't say, well, I will say, I mean, I'm pretty beginner. I mean, I'm not the most experienced person with this, but I'm going to try, so definitely going to try. It's definitely missing the back, so that it's going to be an uphill battle. I think getting a monitor to work is going to be the hard part. I mean, somebody at some point painted the front portion gold for some reason, so we'll, yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to trying to get at this, but what an uphill project this is going to be. Looks like it's been rusted. Definitely some water damage. I don't know how much I should trust and how much I shouldn't trust. I mean, technically, I mean, if it's not plugged in, you know, for a while, electronic components aren't so bad. It's missing the power button here, so that's rusted. Well, anyway, should be an interesting and very long process. So I kind of want to make it into a Mortal Kombat 2. We'll leave it as a Mortal Kombat 2. But to be honest, until I can get like an expensive Mortal Kombat 2 board, I just wanted to get it working. And then I will go from there. I did see like a nice Tekken 2 board. It'd be kind of like blasphemous, but ironically, this I believe had a Tekken something or else board in here. And the guy who I bought it from kept the boards, but, you know, pretty much got the cabinet. So, definitely missing a wheel, the casters are shit, but anyway, should be good times. It definitely was worth pretty much the $25 investment, because I made 2 of these bad boys that pretty much, well, are kind of replicas of it for some people, so that was definitely helped for that. But other than that, yeah, good time. So wish me luck. Well, that poor cabinet was used mostly as a workbench to make those 2 cabinets. I mean, the poor thing was abused, and it pretty much stayed as a workbench for a while until I got the Marvel vs. Capcom in an NBA Jam cabinet. And the best part was that the guy gave me also a free broken Wells Gardner 7K monitor. And I didn't know if it was going to work, but they were filthy and dirty, so sprayed them down with simple green, hosed them off, and they actually came out pretty nice afterwards. then, yeah, so after they came out nice, they pretty much sat in my living room for 2 weeks while they dried off, and yeah, pretty much sat there until I got the Power Stone and the Naomi system. Alrighty, so the other day I picked up a, Naomi system, Power Stone, and everything worked pretty good outside of the right button here, but that I just saw was one of the ground wires was misconnected. So, but anyway, I took it apart, and the thing is absolutely filthy. Like, the fans made like the most horrible noises, and like they're just dirty. Like, it was so caked in there that like I don't even know. I'm just surprised. So after about 20 minutes of play, the game just shut down. And I worked on enough computers to know that it's probably the fan system and like a automatic shutdown kill kind of a thing. So what I'm going to try and do is I got the other board and the other GPU fan. I'm going to try and clean it out, see and lubricate it, and see about if that helps the problem at all. I actually bought a replacement for this fan. The Naomi fan is very particular. Like this one, let me look at that, and I'll go show you. Alrighty, so the Naomi fan has the extra wire there, and that's actually like a fan regulator or pulse. It measures the pulse to make sure that it's working. If it doesn't find the pulse, then it doesn't actually start up the system. So it's a very particular fan, and they're kind of expensive to buy or ship. It's like a German company that sells them, so it might be an easier idea to try and fix the one that you have. So, and it is filthy, so I'm gonna try and clean it out and go for that and see about trying to get it back to work, because that's the trick here. So let's try and get at it. Alright, so I figure either I'm going to break it now or fix it. There, on there. Does not want to come up. Wow, that is filthy. That is extremely filthy. Look at that. Wow. I hate to say, but there's your problem. Alrighty. Kind of curious how to get that up. It's probably also a heat sink as well, so alright, good times. Give me one moment. Well, I don't want to mess with it too much. I think it's a heat sink. It actually looks like it's pretty good on there as well, so I'm going to take it outside with the compressed air, hit all these spots, and come back before I start trying to get inside of that and re-lubricate it and see if that helps the problem. Alrighty, so that looks much better just with the compressed air. You never really want to do that inside the house, because whatever's in there from years could also remain in there and really mess your system up. So, but yeah, it looks a little bit better, not as crusty and not as many blockages, but But yeah, I mean, I hit the fan too a little bit, but we're going to actually get inside of this and try and relubricate it and see if that helps a little bit as well. So, alright, so let's get at it, clean it. I need to get the isopropyl alcohol anyway, so we shall be back in a second. Now, underneath here, sticker should be well, I do not see that. Well, they use I don't know if you can see that. A lot of times there might be like a rubber thing inside the fan and also a different kind of a O-ring to get in there so you can take this whole assembly out, but I haven't dealt with one of these yet. So this is new. Damn. It makes me wonder if there's a special thing you need to get it out or not. Don't want to ruin the fan. I mean, you could just try and lubricate this part, but if you really want to get it deep down into the guts and clean it out, you're going to have to just get in there and clean it out, so. That puppy's in there. I don't want to risk damaging that component, so I'm just going to try and clean around it, lubricate it up, and then try and clean around it with some isopropyl alcohol. Not ideal, but it beats breaking it right now, so maybe I'll need like a certain part. Unexpected. But I guess we're kind of glad I did this. Find out. Let me get something to open this oil and see if that helps. Alright. I was really hoping to clean this. I guess I didn't skimp on the fans though, so that's good. Putting a little bit more than I normally do just because I wasn't able to really get in there, so hopefully it'll lubricate it up and try and break up some of the dust and grime. But usually just like 3 dots on the shaft, and afterwards just maybe 3 dots in there and work it around a little bit. But alright, let me close that back up. Well, I'm going to try and clean the outside with some isopropyl alcohol and some cotton swabs, just to see if I can clean up around some of the edges there. This helps to break down some of the dirt and grime on the outside from getting in there, but the main important part is actually on the inside. That's where you don't want any of the dirt and grime to get to. And maybe at some point I'll buy like a tool to get that clip out, that old clip out a little bit better, but until then, I'll just work with this. And I use a high alcohol content isopropyl alcohol, the highest number I can find, only because it dries the fastest. So that helps a lot of times with electronics. Just be careful you don't get too much liquid in the inside. It's not a spot you really want to get rusted. So while not the best, it definitely looks better than it did, which is good. And the only problem is the replacement that I bought for the other fan has not arrived yet, and that fan is pretty disgusting, so I'm kind of torn. Should I wait? But I just want to see if this fan works a lot better than it did. So see if I have another like small, like a replacement fan for the other one. But anyway, that hopefully that set some of the problem up. And well, here's hoping. Another area that looked really bad was the inside of the cart. Tried to clean some of that out, but it just looks really, really bad. So I'm going to try and open it up, see if I can clean some of that out and go from there. One side definitely wants to come out easier than the other. Not missing a screw. There we go. Oh my. There's the back end of that. Doesn't look like a fan or anything, but I'm going to take compressed air and just clean this out really well. So I will be, look at that, holy cow. Alright, let's hit it with the compressed air outside. And yeah, wow, that is filthy. Well, it was caked on there pretty good. It still has a little bit that just did not want to come out, but hopefully that should be okay. It's not like a stalagmite just growing. Ooh, that's still pretty dirty. It's better than it was, though. Alright, good times. That should definitely help with some overheating issues. Even this got still dirty, but not, like you can actually see through it this time. Whereas before it was just, yeah, well, you saw it. Good stuff, right? Alright, so I'll put this back together and see if that helps anything. So it still seems loud, but it's actually still just coming from this fan here. That's really the loud one. This one's really quiet. You really can't hear this fan here. And it's on, it's working great. This fan, which is getting replaced, by the way, I couldn't get in through that little opening there, so that was kind of annoying, but it, we'll see if this works pretty good, and so far so good. So we'll try and play it, see if it stays on for like over 20 minutes, and we'll go from there. So some time has passed since that last video. I really still need to clean a little bit better in this cabinet, but she works. The fan on the case that I was just showing, well, that completely seized up and it no longer worked. I was playing the game, I got really far, and I got to the first boss, or I just beat the first boss, and as soon as I did, the thing went haywire. It coined up player 2, and then player 1 wasn't responsive, and I just had to turn it off. And I went back and looked, and at some point of me playing for 20 minutes, it was about like 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, it completely seized up the other case fan, and that was that. So I changed that out. I actually replaced that fan, and it should sound much better now. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna turn it on in a second. I have the attract still on. Yeah, we're gonna show some pictures of this. This actually looked much worse before, but I'll figure out how I want to clean that later. So I'm gonna turn it on and let you hear the fan and see how it goes. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it? It's definitely not extremely quiet, but with the game music on, you really can't hear it, so it plays great. Alrighty. And the picture looks pretty good.
In the 19th century, people are strong believers of superstition and legend. Adventurers seek the world for fortune, glory, and a legendary treasure which they Welcome to Power Stone War! Now, incision African War!
Alrighty, I still need to fix the marquee, so at some point I gotta work on that. Alrighty, so, okay. So, rodents lived in the cabinet at some point before I got to it, and I tried to clean it as best I could with simple green, but they crapped everywhere. They peed inside the connectors. They actually peed or crapped on the JAMA harness, which really messed the game up. Like, a couple of the buttons didn't work on player 2, so I had to fix that. But, yeah, it works now. Also, the next filing, video, I'm going to show some of my first cap kits that I did. And there was some good damage on one of the boards, and fix that up as best I could. And can't wait to finish that and move on to the next part of the project.